Oh, that's where that was coming from. Now I know. Something on my thumb, and I was looking. I was like, what is that? I have to watch out my coffee cup. Oh, I met with some people today. Hey, how's it going? I met with some people today that were offering me some help. I mean, I had to seek it out, but they're legitimately going to help me. And they offered me something big, really big. And you know what? I panicked. I totally did. See, I'm the kind of person, like, at least I used to be the kind of person where I could run into a burning building to help someone. Don't even think about it. I don't even think about it. I just do it. But like some of the emotional stuff and like I wouldn't say relationships, but like I panic, and I know I'm not the only one that does that shit. But like for me, I've noticed it's like so easy for me to like run into some dangerous situation and help somebody, right? In that sense, I don't have any fear. I really don't. I never have. I've never been like that. I've never been a fearful person. But when it comes to like improving my life, which I know that sounds crazy, but most people are actually afraid of success. They're not afraid of failure because they know what failure feels like. It's actually feels safer to most of us, especially if you've been trauma. If you've gone through trauma, you know what I'm talking about. It feels safer to feel small, to stay small. Not to play small to other people, but to keep yourself small because when you were not in control of your life and you were a kid, probably, most of us, it's childhood stuff. You're a kid and you make yourself small because that way you're a smaller target for that a-holes around you that like hurt you. And a lot of them don't even know what they're doing. Some of them do, though. Some of them do. I'm not excusing anybody's behavior, I'm not justifying anything. Don't hear what I'm not saying. But the fact that it happened, like we learned to kind of tuck and roll emotionally. Like we learned to play dumb, play small, sidestep, and in that sense, like we grow up to be adults that are afraid of their own power, they're afraid of being seen. It's a real thing. And like more afraid of their success than they are of their failure. Like I totally get it. I felt that. I remember I used to hear that when I was a teenager. It was around the time I started hearing that. And I thought, I'm like, that's absurd, right? It sounds crazy. It sounds stupid, but it's totally the truth. Like people want to admit it or not. The beautiful thing about the truth is that it stands on its own. Whether we agree with it or not is truly irrelevant. It doesn't need our opinion. Doesn't require our belief. This truth stands on its own, and the truth is most people are far more afraid of succeeding than they are failing. Isn't that a trip? I've always thought that that's one of the very like perplexing, one of many very perplexing things about human nature. Huh. I've got like 200 pages to like write a second draft of this whole thing I wrote. And I've been procrastinating. Who else procrastinates? Does anyone else procrastinate? Thank you. I appreciate that. I wish you all the best too. It looks like a lot of letters. Oh, it's your name. Shazib. Shazib. Shazib Saeed. Did I say that properly? I try not to butcher people's names. In the pronunciation of them, I mean. But I know that it's been, I know that it's a significant thing to overcome for most people. Um, and it can be a doozy. That one. Shazi Saeed. Yeah, thank you. I do my best. I I think it's been really trippy for me to see that at work in my life. Like to actually observe the fear of success in my own life. And it sounds, I mean, it sounds absolutely absurd, but it's totally true of humans. And to identify that and move forward and grow through it, rather than just, letting, like, it's a form of self sabotage, you want to be successful, right? You're doing all, you think you're doing all the things to, like, and I see people using like AI to optimize their lives and all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, wow. But that fear of success is like, that's a real thing. And to overcome it, the only thing I really figured out is to just, well, to lean on God first and foremost. And second of all, like to not feel your way through it. You can't really intellectualize it. It doesn't make sense. It's not logical. It doesn't make any sense. Um, but to feel my way through it and to really do like critical thinking about it, to think about what I'm thinking about, observe my own thoughts has been really helpful. And then like do things to regulate the nervous system too, because that's really where the fear resides, is in that, like, the physiological sense of not feeling safe. And other than that, does anyone else have any freaking thing to say about it? I've had a really, I think I that's one of the things I've had the hardest time with. But it's also one of the few things that I see like super clearly. Yeah, fear of success. What a trippy thing. Thank you, Hayden. Thank you, Hayden. That's a nice compliment. Uh, I think I don't think I have any solution for it. Like I'm thinking, like I said, to feel your way through it because everybody's a little bit different. But also, I think just in the cultivation of wisdom and like self awareness and true self love, not the toxic, selfish self love that we see in the world, but the true self love that the God in you, the Holy Spirit, the, religion has a lot of names for it, but that indweller, that higher self is a common word for it. Part of every human being, like that's like cultivating wisdom, a relationship with your God self, because we all have one, and despite all the different names for it, it's all the same thing. And self discipline, wisdom, and relationship with your higher self are very important because I don't really see any other way out of it. Like I've studied the religions. I know what they're about. I know where it's coming from, and they're beautiful. It's beautiful, and it is a way to learn about God. But religion only ever teaches about religion, and so that I think that relationship with one's God self, with one's Christ self, with one's Krishna consciousness, it goes by many names. Um, Islam has Prophet Muhammad, and these different ideas can be helpful, but we're so cut off from what that actually is because religion teaches one thing and it teaches one way. And if you notice, one thing that's common about every single religion, typically, they're very, especially the monotheistic religions, they're very exclusive as far as like if you're not. I can't tell you how many Christians I've heard say, and even then, they always say they're saying it out of love. You're going to hell. Like what? Like, no wonder nobody wants to learn about the Christ in them. They don't want to learn about the true Christ that lives in them, in every single one of us, that we have access to. They don't want to talk about that, though, because talking about that takes the power out. of the church's hands, out of the government's hands, out of every system of control's hands, and puts it back in the hands of the people where it's supposed to be in the fucking first place. Excuse my language. But that's our God created. God, we inherit. Those are things like just how you like your life is given to you. I mean, it's on loan, but all the same, God gives you that time. You have that time. There's a real consciousness to like the embodiment of the universal laws. Like when you see it at work in your life and you see how the quantum field orders itself around you when you're close to God, it's an extraordinary experience. It's to, in Hebrew, they call it the yirah, the ari of God, like the awe of God. And the Bible says, the beginning of wisdom is the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. And to know that, um, to see how differently reality is structured around um, those true and pure connections. There's not a lot of connections like that you will ever have in your life. Maybe a dog. Me and my dog and I are very close, but animals are close to that feeling. But dwelling in that presence of God it's substance when everything else is ephemeral and changeable. Everything is everything. But the I wouldn't even say I know that it's the programmer, but more like the actual creator. Um, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Um, I think that's been so covered up. But I also know that it's the one thing that you can access. You don't need technology. You don't need a phone. You don't need even to read the books. None of them. Because, and think about it, because like God had to make sure that everybody, no matter what language they spoke, no matter if they were deaf or dumb, they couldn't speak, or lame, they couldn't walk, or whatever, he had to make sure that his message was equally like available to every human, every single one. So think about it, like it would have to be something that you don't need to necessarily know a lot to get to. You don't have to be able to even read. Think about it. You don't really need to have to read. He made sure, like our creator made sure, that each one of us had everything that we needed already within us to reach him, to reach back home. He made sure of that. Like I say he, I'm talking about like the all father of my mother, my body's everything, right? Um, but that's it, extraordinary. It's extraordinary. It blows. I love to dwell in the yada, the adi of God, the awe of God. It's it's truly spectacular experience. I don't think many people, not enough people, in my humble opinion, have it. I think it would be a really tremendous and much more fulfilling experience here on Earth. I would say when, I shouldn't say if, because I know it will happen. When people are closer to God, the world's just a better place. We're better to one another when we're better to ourselves. We can heal our land, we can heal the earth, we can heal each other. I see it happening. Do you have what's up with your ear? Do you have something in your ear? God, you're so cute. I think my dog has something in her ear. She's been fussing with it. She doesn't fuss with her ears. Should we go get your ear looked at? I think that we should. I think we should ask someone to look in your ear. All right, I'm gonna do that. I gotta make some calls for her. All right, so that means I gotta go. I hope that this video finds you blessed. Love, blessings, and compassion to everyone. Please take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Peace be with you.